Hello and welcome to Graceful Connections presented by Academy for the Soul. I'm Sophie Vidar and I'm the host of Graceful Connections, a whole new breed of online events presented by Academy for the Soul, the online school for intuitive arts founded by Christel Hughes. In the third edition, launching on February the 2nd, we have selected gifted healers, experts, intuitives, to be your graceful guides into living your divine radiance. They invite you to empower yourself to fully own and shine your light, potent, bright, divine, with their expert guidance and support. They'll lead you into exploring possibilities, calling forth inspiration, revealing whole new higher perspectives and unique wisdom, discovering and activating your abilities to fulfill your heart's desires and your soul's purpose. So to receive all your invitations, your sacred welcome gifts, and to be sure you won't miss any of the goodness, make sure to sign up at gracefulconnections.com. That's graceful with double L, as in full of grace, gracefulconnections.com. It's free and open to everyone. You have the link on your webcast and on your replay page. And today we're together for a very special time. This is our warm-up pre-party for the third edition of Graceful Connections. So in just a moment, I'm going to be welcoming Christel Hughes, who will be offering live intuitive readings on your initiation rhythms and how they activate your purpose within. And then we'll be joined by Amanda Hopkins, whose intuitive readings will be all about attuning your body to your soul resonance for sublime health. And I'd like the two of you to chime in already. Christel, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
Sophie, thanks for having me.
Hi,
Good to be here with
yeah.
you. Ready for the party.
A party. Yeah. Thank you.
Sophie, thank you for having us and creating this beautiful space where we can come together. Such a blessing.
Absolutely. Such a blessing, such a joy, and many of you are joining us, so that's wonderful. So let's first begin with creating our safe, sacred space with the orb of grace. Of course, that's where we want to be with our special guests today. So let's do that. Let's relax, taking a few deep breaths. Breathing out all that does not belong to this moment. Let's bring all of your attention and your presence here and now. We set our intention that our time together, all that is shared in words and beyond the words, all the energies that we call in and flow serve our highest good, our evolution, and be of service to the highest good of all. I invite you to open your heart and be ready to receive. And to open your mind and be ready to receive. Remembering your connection to the center, to the heart of the earth, and your connection to the center, to the heart of the universe, so that you are held, both grounded and suspended. You are safe, relaxed, ready, and open to receive. Now I'm calling the orb of grace from the heart of the universe and placing the orb of grace around our group, our gathering, each and every one of us, that we be held in the orb of grace and infused with grace all along our time together. Let's just take a moment to adjust to the purity and the subtle high frequency of grace. Beautiful, beautiful. So within this sacred space of the Orb of Grace, I'm delighted to welcome Christel Hughes. Welcome, Christel.
Hello, everyone. Oh, how precious is that? When you were having us adjust to that vibration of grace, everything shifted internally for me. My ears started clicking, so I'm getting ready for channeling. That is for sure clicking into place right now.
Clicking into place, in alignment with grace, absolutely. Now, I was wondering, do I even need to introduce Christel? Well, for some of you who may be new to this community, welcome to all of you. And yes, let me share a bit about Christel. Christel Hughes is a multidimensional visionary, medium, and multisensory energetic intuitive, specializing in energetic healing and rapid transformation. And we are always in awe because of her lightning fast and laser focused intuitive readings. You're going to experience them today. They go directly to the core of the issue. She pinpoints it immediately. And the Academy for the Soul was born through Christel as the online school for intuitive arts, helping people discover and develop their intuitive gifts and then share those gifts with the world as an offering. Christel's work has broadened to include connecting with Archangel Metatron and mediating for Metatron's cube to instantly shift a person's consciousness, undoing mental, emotional, and physical limitations, as well as opening up their higher channels of communication. And together we have created Graceful Connections. So this is your home, Christel. Thank you for being with us today and for your brilliant offering. Would you tell us a bit about what you will be offering today?
Oh, what I'm going to be doing in my readings and all of that good stuff with the initiation rhythms. Yes. So initiations, we have these initiations that happen that we really say are profound moments in your life. And these happen, major initiations happen, let's say at the 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 year mark in your life. We also have mid-initiation cycles, so 25, 35, 45, right? Embarking on this journey of a new year, a personal new year, isn't merely this chronological shift that you're going through. It is an initiation into the sacred dance of cosmic energies, and that shapes the fabric of your spiritual existence. So each year becomes a cycle, a rhythmic flow, if you will, and that orchestrates a unique initiation experience for you. Now, in the embrace of this cosmic dance, profound shifts occur, and they're happening in the invisible realm. That the invisible is trying to come into that visibility, right? The intangible, wishing to come into this tangible experience, guiding you through layers of spiritual growth. So the initiation unfolds as, think of it like a series of sacred gateways. And they're marked not only by the turning of time, but by these vibrational frequencies inherent in the cosmic numerology of that year. Now, I'm not a numerologist. This is not anything that has to do with numerology, except that this is the way the divine has shown me. And it really is a journey that invites reflection, of course, introspection, and there's an alignment with these archetypal energies that are woven into the fabric of existence. So as you venture into this initiatory path, they encounter this experience with archetypal frequencies that the energies start to transform, and it becomes a movement into action. It becomes this signature, and that acts as a mystical key. So with the movement, it's an unlocking the gateways to deeper self-discovery, of course, spiritual insights, cosmic alignment, and you really shed the old layers. So you have to also let go. Just like the leaves falling from a tree in autumn, you have to make room for that new growth, and you can't be holding on to the old. So today what I'm doing is I'm reading, possibly depending on, you tell me your age now, I'm going to want to share with you what cycle you're in. It means so much to you because you have to align with that cycle. And the cycle to come, you're going to go, oh, wait, right? I don't want to quit my job right now because I'm in a 3-year. 5 is the year of change, so I need to wait a couple years. I need to align with the 5 because that's change. Do you see? Where the 3 is you getting yourself really in alignment with, wow, who am I as my higher self with the divine? And then 4 is that foundation. So you have to build a new foundation before you make that change. Some people, they start to feel it 2 years before, and they're like, oh, I'm going to jump in now because I'm feeling that energy wave, but it's not the key. You don't have the key yet. You're just going to the door. You don't have what you need to unlock it. Do you get that? So, really
so they're getting prepared, right? When they get it early, it's like they're actually getting prepared for the big turn or for the big change.
Some of us, yes, we're so sensitive, Sophie, that we're so sensitive that we get things years before they happen. And so we make mistakes, if you will, because we jump in too soon. Now, that's just one example, right?
Right.
So we also can have expectations from others years before they're ready because it's not their cycle time yet. And, you know, so then we put that upon them and project and, you know, and so it can mess things up, right, in areas of life. And this is all about practicality. It's really about aligning and getting into that rhythm with the universe so that everything flows. We always talk about, in spirituality, we talk about being in the flow. But our mind tries to jump ahead. We're futuristic types of beings, but we want to really take advantage of this cycle we're in because sometimes we really are in a deeper cycle where we have to still, dive deep and undergo tremendous amounts of clearing so that next wave that comes will be able to surf that wave, right? And jump on. So it's like, woo, let's go.
All right, let's go. Talk about let's go. Okay, more is going to reveal itself as you roll through the reading. So let's get started. So everyone, to get your reading to come, if you're on the phone, to come on the line with Christel, press *2 to raise your hand, or if you're on the webcast, click raise hand, or you can also put your request in the Q&A box on the webcast. So while everyone is raising their hand, let's warm up with taking a few requests from the Q&A, and then we'll go to the live callers. Let's kick off with the big 50. We have Annette in Minnesota. She says she's 49 and a half, will be 50 at the end of June. So what cycle of initiation is Annette in?
Annette, okay. So going in, so what we're looking at right now, you're in the 4-9. You're in a perfect place where you have built up some structure there with the 4, but the 9 really is calling for you to wrap it up, right? It's like you've got to complete on things right now. I'm seeing about 4 things that you're going to want to complete on before you go into the 5-0. Now, again, with the 5, you draw the number 5 out. You're going to see it's on a rocker. That's change. It's rocking you forward, but you can't be dragging these things. So I'm really looking at this feeling of, in your power center, a little bit of a feeling of loss and grief that hasn't yet been cleared for you, okay? So that's what you'll want to work on and then move forward.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Annette. Melinda in Hendersonville, North Carolina, 62.
Okay, so we're looking at the 6 and the 2, right? And the 6 is one of my favorites because it's the as above, so below, okay? So we think about that. When you turn 60, there was this beautiful experience of Like, I'm not going to take anything that I don't have to take, right? There's a level in which you feel strength in your 60s. And when we start to look at that as above, so below, what happens is there's a feeling and a frequency, oh my goodness, I don't have time to waste, because the divine is flowing energy down to you and saying, this is who you are in the divine's eyes. You see? So you have to become that here. Now, when we look at that 2 and the 3, was it, tell me again, Sophie, was it 2
62. Yeah.
Okay, 62 going into 63. Okay, and you may have to remind me. But with the 2, what we look and what we feel is this is about you really claiming your body as a container for your higher self-consciousness. And then the 3 is calling you to bring that level of awareness of embodiment of higher self into the union with the divine. So this is a precious time for you. This year, you've got to bring more of your consciousness down inside your body than ever before. You cannot act out on personas or your mind telling you things. You want to be in that level of accuracy. I would work on the throat chakra, and I would work 3 past lives ago to clear that energy.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you. Let's take one more before we go to the live callers. We have Christina in Sierra Vista 46.
Okay, so 4 and 6. So again, what we start to see here for you is that foundation was supposed to be solid before your 4-5, right? And what they're telling me is you didn't quite get the foundation as solid as you wanted it before you moved into the change cycle. And then now here you are with the as above, so below, and the energies like drawing you to become your true self, right? So we kind of have to go back. We've got to, don't think of it too much, because it's not like we're backpedaling, but it's just going back and making sure you're reinforcing that foundation for you, so that you actually will be able to now take a stand as that being that the divine wishes you to be in order to create for the divine. So I'm looking at the foundation issue that higher self is showing me. That is a past life, 38 past lives ago, and it has to do with the sacral chakra, okay?
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Okay, let's go to live callers. Let's go to Texas, Katy, Texas, with Kim. I'm unmuting you, Kim. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi. Good. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
So, what is your age? Would you like a reading from Christel?
I am 46, and I would love a reading. Thank you.
Okay. So let's take a look here. So what's happening is a couple of things. With that 4 and with the foundation, one of the corners of the foundation is wobbly, right? Now, this is a question of you questioning yourself, okay? And you're questioning your deeper intuition, right? You're questioning what you know. It's really important for you to get into that state of calling in the remembrance, calling in the power. Because the 4 and the 6 are working together, what we're seeing is that you have an ability, the universe is on your side to have you know yourself as the divine knows you. You have to remember. Now, with the questioning, what I'm seeing is in the third eye, front third eye chakra, and the crown, you've got a little bit of this confusion mixed with a little bit of fear. Okay, and when we see that, that is actually a genealogical issue on your mom's side 49 generations ago, okay? But now, as you clear this, I just want to say there's a lot of vibrant pink energy trying to rush up through the root chakra. It's really wanting to bring in the little nuances and meanings for your life. Right? So I want you to feel into that, because you have that capacity to bring forth that archetype of the queen energy to own your intuitive power. Okay? So the queen is the archetype wanting to come through for you.
Okay, very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
thank you. Blessings. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Minneapolis with Jill. Unmuting you, Jill.
Good morning.
Good
Hi.
morning. Welcome. Yeah,
Thank
welcome.
you. I'm 59. I'm dealing with a health challenge, and I'd love a reading.
Okay. So, Joe, going in with that 5 again, you know, in the 50s, you were going
69.
in. You were
Is it 69? Sorry.
59. She's correct.
59. Sorry. I apologize.
That's all right. So in going through with that 5, that really was a wave of energy. Now what I'm seeing is that it hit up against something dense inside your body, right? Now what I get is that we have to look at what's going on in the intestinal tract as well as with the adrenals and the thyroid, okay? Now what I see with this vibrationally and moving you into this next stage, there's a sense of almost like a persona, an aspect of you that is trying to delay that forward movement, okay? Now, when I see that, it's a feeling of almost like you're misunderstanding who you are for the divine. Like it's a, well, what am I to do? Like, who am I? What am I to do? Is that right? You're questioning what your purpose is or what you're to do fully?
I'm a doer, so I do tend to always put the chores up ahead of my personal myself, putting everybody else's issues before myself.
Yeah.
So I'm learning.
Yeah, okay. So that's really important now to do an integration. Really start to heal that aspect of you that does that, because the reality is that if you're doing for others, but it's your time and your cycle to do for yourself, which happened when you turned 50, how many years has it been, right? So you see how that starts to build up in your body. So as you let this, I'm seeing it literally like you've been in this mold, right? And you've got to crack that mold and you've got to step out of that, because what you are is you're not just a caretaker for people that you know. You're meant to really shine the light and be a transmitter and a messenger. That's the archetype for you, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome, Jean. Blessings. All right, going to Montreal with Noel. Unmuting you, Noel. Hello. Hi, Noel.
Sorry, I couldn't find the mute button.
No, that's okay. We can hear you. We hear you. You're right here with us.
Yeah, but I was muted and then the mouse wouldn't move.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
hi. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Yeah, I'm 61, going to 62 beginning of May, and I'm really at a crossroad. I would love to know what the future holds for me.
Yes. So again, looking at that 61, so when you got into that initiation and that energy started coming down upon you, what I'm seeing is shakiness in the lower triangle, right? Think of like the 6 as the 6-pointed star, right? And it's the as above, so below, 2 triangles. The triangle above, as it's bringing that energy and starting to feel the vibration, it's like, uh-oh, wait a second, what is happening? What's happening? And you don't feel ready. There's a part of you that doesn't feel ready. Now, with the 1 year, that's the initiation into independence. So again, this is the beginning of something that is independently yours, right? It's your unique intelligence that you're drawing in as the infinite brings that down. And what are you going to put it into? And when you go into that 62, that's you aligning with your higher self. So this is about something that is unique to you. It's your intellectual property. You're meant to actually create something that is, it's organically wanting to come through you, but it is unique to you, right? So the beauty of what we see for you, one of the archetypes that I'm seeing is writing. So you're creating in that way, and you're a storyteller. Everything that you need to share with us, it has to be in some kind of program, and it needs to include story, okay, for us to really follow you, all right? Because you definitely are a leader, okay?
That's quite funny. I've heard I was a leader like at least 4 times in the last 2 weeks, and I've always known I was supposed to write, but I really don't feel like now. Is it
You don't
going
feel like
to
what?
change when I turn 62? Like a leader and like thing? Will it change?
But you have to change it. This isn't like I'm going to sit back. You have to change it, right? So really what you're asking is, Christel, what's in the way? Why am I not? Why am I not doing this, right? And that's because, again, there's kind of this feeling of not being ready. So
Yep.
you've got an aspect that you still have to deal with. You have to heal that aspect. No one else can heal that. You do a session or something, right? But you have to get your human self, your human mind, into that state of strength and readiness. Okay?
Yep.
Right.
All
Perfect.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Noelle. Looking forward to reading you. Looking forward to reading you. Thank you. All right. Going to Coquitlam. Oh, no. You have disappeared, Coquitlam. Okay. Jumping then to Mountain View, Wyoming with Donna. Unmuting you, Donna. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Donna. Welcome. We can hear you. We could hear you. Now we can't.
Okay, I must have hit the wrong button.
No, okay, you're good. You're good. Okay.
My name is Becky, and
Becky.
I'm 59.
Okay. All right, Becky. So in looking at that 5-9 for you, and specifically, again, as we've heard, that 9 is about completion. And I'm seeing about 3 different streams of attachment for you that are coming down from the upper right into your aura, right? So part of this initiation going into the 6-0, you need to release the attachments that you have to these 3 energies, right? They're coming in. And with that, the feeling is that we have to make sure that you're clearing out people that are desperate, or those people that have shown up in some sort of desperation. We have to clear and shift the archetype of the rescuer out of you and bring you to the archetype that's more of the way shower. Okay, so that's what your initiation cycle is going into. You're the way shower, but you're not calling in and attracting or holding up people that are desperate. Okay, so there's a big shift that needs to happen at your heart and also within your mind, so your mental body of your aura. Now, excuse me, let me see about past life, because they're telling me past life. 83 past lives ago for you, okay? That's where you're going to look to shift this, all right?
Wow. So it's not something in my life right now where I have 3 desperate people attached to me?
It could be. I don't know. You have to look into that. But there's 3 attachments. Think of them like stronger than cords. They're attachments. So from your side, you have an aspect that you're buying into some sort of desperation, but it could be a company that you think, oh, I'm going to help them because they need me, right? Like a company could be desperate as well as a person could be desperate, but it's a past life experience, so it can show up with a slight bit of desperation. Can you identify that level of desperation that's showing up in your life where you're actually being a rescuer? Okay?
Yeah.
Start to look for that. Okay.
That's all I do.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Ding, ding, time to change. Yeah,
working with you can help that.
Excuse me?
If I worked with you, could you help that?
Oh, yeah, you can work with me, or I can refer you to a practitioner that I've trained. Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Christel.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, let's go back to the Q&A. We have Dan in Arlington, age 69.
Okay, perfect. So, Dan, as we're looking at this 6 and the 9, this is an interesting one, right? Because we've got the as above, so below, which is, bringing your power, your truth, your resonance as this absolute eternal being onto the planet. But you've got the 9, which is completion. right? And so it feels like, whoa, am I supposed to be powerful, or am I supposed to dive in and get rid of all this stuff that doesn't serve me, okay? So you have to watch out for confusion with that. And I see that a lot of times because as you're in that 6-9 year, you have to activate your wisdom, like your wise elder as the archetype, to know what to let go of. And you're starting to increase this level of efficiency. So you're going to actually work with your divine masculine and feminine going into the 7-0, right? And so the 7-0 is going to rattle. It rattles everything. Whatever you didn't let go of with the 9 year of your 6-9, you're going to have it rattled loose. So get on it, look and literally evaluate and come into that greater experience of wisdom that lives within you so that you can have this sight. You're looking, what can I let go of? How can I be more efficient? Okay?
Wonderful. All right. Thank you, Dan. Blessings. We have Rashmi in New York, 74.
Okay. So I mentioned the 7 is a rattling year, okay? So literally the 7 is the lightning bolt, right? So the 7 comes down and literally zaps your booty and gets you going, right? It's like if you did not do what you were meant to do, and I want you guys to think back, every 7 year I've had, like literally 27, 37, 47, right? It's like those were my years of full-on illumination where I was zapped. And if I didn't have my body and my energetic structures ready to go for the upgrade, then it actually would drain me, right? So a lot of people in their 7 years, when the lightning bolt hits, they haven't taken care of their body. That's why we have Amanda Hopkins here today, people, because you have to take care of your body. It is a container for your light, for your intuition, for the wisdom to flow through you and to move you into action, okay? So that 7 coming in, really starting to serve you to like, giddy up, come on, let's move, let's go. We have to start to look at your foundation, right? So in looking at the foundation, if you were zapped, if lightning struck you, if you had a full-on illumination experience, which is an enlightening experience, right? It's like you're levitating for weeks at a time with the 7 year, right? You can get there. But if you don't have a foundation, and we're looking at your foundation as your body, okay, so your foundation as your body, is it ready to really receive all the light that you can? And what I'm looking at is we have to look into the stomach, going into digestive system, and related to something going on in the brainstem nervous system, okay? Now let's see where this came from. It's a genealogical issue, father's side, 4 generations back, okay? So you're going to want to heal that up and then really start to work on, making sure your digestion, your nervous system are pristine.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Rashmi. Blessings. All right, going to Sweden with Christopher, 36.
Okay, 36. So the 30s, so wonderful, right? Because it's usually that moment when you're in your 20s and you're kind of seeking, and then you hit your 30s, and the 30s are really about you starting to share. You're sharing what you learned about yourself, and you're sharing that with others. And you come into this place of like, whoa, the divine is what I'm seeking. The divine, the feeling of that, nurturing, the nourishment, the power, the energy, the wisdom, the grace to actually put things into action, right? And so as we move into that experience of the 30s, we start to see that the energy is behind us to really gain things from our higher self, relating to the divine in such a unique way that our personality, our spiritual personality gets formed. This is when a lot of times the intuition starts to come in and starts to grace us, where we're perceiving beyond the veil. Now, what are we linking that with, Sophie? Is that the 636?
36, yes.
36?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that 6 now, as we start to come in and looking at that, what this means is that now within you, and this is what I'm starting to see, is the energy coming down from the stellar gateway, that soul star chakra, and your crown. Okay? You're going to need to work on a lot of this. How do I connect with the divine? What is the way in which I'm channeling the intuition? What is the flow within me? You've got to go a little bit deeper into that to access that energy so that you're moving it through your body in a conscious way, right? How do I do intuition is the question for you. Okay? And we can support you with that. But that's definitely the question for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Christopher. Blessings. Going to Salvador with Nicola, 42.
Okay, so the 4 and the 2. So one of the things that we're seeing for you as I look at the 4 and the foundation, it's what have you put into the foundation more than, any kind of quality of the foundation that you built. What did you feel that you were capable of putting in? And some part of you didn't feel capable of the highest quality of energies that you could put into your foundation, right? So as we look at that again, you guys, I want you to think about symbolically. If we're looking at foundation, there's a couple of foundations that we have, right? There's the foundation of our job or, what we do for a living. There's the foundation of our relationships and how we've built them. There's the foundation of our body, again, our body as a container and the foundation and what we've put into that container, right? So what is the quality? What are we demanding? What are the values in which we're relating to people? And when you're coming in and becoming your higher self in the 2 year, what that means is that you've always thought of yourself as just a personality of how your friends might have claimed you to be. You're the one in the group that's the comic, right? The comedian, right? You're the one in the group that's the therapist. You're the one in the group, right, that is the caregiver, right? So you have to watch out for labels when you're in a 2 year. You're taking off the labels so that you can come into union with higher self. So I want you to reevaluate who you've been around, what you've put up with, and the values that you're willing to accept, right? Because it's like, no. If they don't have my values, they can't be in my world, right? Not to reject people, but to really qualify your life, okay? So we're looking at a past life. We're looking at the heart and the throat chakra. And let's see how many past lives ago. 41 past lives ago.
All right. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you. Blessings. All right. Thank you, Christel. Let's go back to live callers. We're going to Coquitlam, I guess is the name. Margaret, unmuting you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome.
Oh good. Hi. I'm 72.
Okay. All right, Margaret, let's go in. So you're 7-2 and going into the 7-3, right? So again, you have the capacity right now. They're showing me this is more of like this ancient wisdom that you're meant to bring down, right? You've got the capacity to channel immense amounts of light. But what I'm seeing is the light can come down, but it's not going from the power center to the body, right? The rest of like the feet. So you haven't been able to actualize and bring that all the way down, have you? Right? No. So you've got ideas, you've got things, you're not sure about the intuition, exactly how you're meant to bring that out into the world. So you bring it down, it stops right at the power center. We're looking at your power center. Let me see what that blockage is. Because there's something that's saying like, well, but I wouldn't know how to go about this, right? I wouldn't know how to go about this. Okay, yeah. So that aspect of you is the one that's blocking that light from coming all the way and seeping down. When I said the 2 is about you embodying higher self, what we're saying is your higher self-consciousness is also only coming down to right about that area, maybe a little bit into the hips, going into the sacral, right? So you need your higher self-consciousness to come all the way down through your legs to your chakras of your feet to anchor that infinite intelligence of your intuition on the planet. Okay, and really what we're seeing is that blockage is a past life experience that I'm seeing. And I really feel like your life was cut short. And so there's a weird thing of like, I don't know how to do this next phase of my life, and I don't know how to bring it through, right? And there's also a piece of like, who am I to do this? So you have to watch out for that. Those are the things that I would watch out for. Do the healing work on that. And you're going to go 63 past lives ago to start to clean that up. Okay?
Oh, okay. Super. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. Blessings. All right. Going to Santa Rosa. Melanie, you're up. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Melanie.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome.
Thank you. Let's see. I'm 49 and I will be 50 in early March.
Okay, so that's coming up soon, right? So when it's coming that soon, everybody, we really start to feel our next year initiation 6 weeks beforehand, right? So we're going to start to feel that, and we've got a transition. There's a little bit of lag time on both sides. So you'll feel that, and then you'll start to go in. So again, as we start to get you prepared in that energy and that frequency, what I'm starting to see vibrationally is a lot of energy that wants to rise from the back of your heart and zip up into the back of your head, right? Now, what we're looking at is we're going into looking at the frequency tones that are going to turn the light bulb on. The light bulb is trying to come on. And again, we're looking at the Ajna, the Bindu, and the Talu chakra. Now, I just did that celestial inversion session, and that's what this is. It's turning that part of the brain on. So it's fascinating for me to see that for you. If we didn't do that session, you might want to sign up for that. Now, when we look at this, the lightning bulb's not coming on because I'm seeing you in like double vision, right? I see you. I'm trying to lock in on that higher self, higher consciousness you, but you still have this other like energy vibration that's coming in and out, right? You're not really letting that other part of you that you have viewed yourself as go. You haven't let it go yet. And the question is, why wouldn't you let that go? Especially because it's like loud, chaotic interference in your own being. And again, it keeps you in the dark. It doesn't let you find the light switch to turn the light on. Okay? So what I'm seeing there is we're looking at genealogical on mom's side, and that is 74 generations ago. And we're looking at past life for you. And I'm getting 89 lives ago. Okay? All right? So let yourself come in. No more double vision. Stop engaging with the part of you that is just ready to leave. Stop calling it back, right? And really open up. This is like ding, 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 like the light goes on. You begin to understand, know who you truly are, and really start to feel the energy of aliveness, like passion wants to come through you to do what you're meant to do. Passion, right? Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Melanie. Happy 50s. I want to comment that for me, within couple months of my 50s, I met with Christel, and here we are a few years later. So that's on the significance of the 50. And certainly it was very significant to me. Yes, celebrating this on the way. Okay, next we're going to Schomburg. Andrea, unmuting you, Andrea. Hello.
Hello, Suri.
Hello.
Hello, Suri. Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome, Andrea.
Hello, I'm 41.
Okay. So I love this for you, right? This is like the independence. This is like the here I am, right? Like I'm showing up. Now remember, the 1 is also getting you ready for the 2, which is the full embodiment of higher self-consciousness, right? So at this level, you're going to be seeking out, who am I? Right? You're going to be asking, who am I, Christel? Who am I? So it's important for you to do the things that really inspire, drawing out the uniqueness of your vibration. I feel that energy, right? Like I feel the brilliance of you. I'm starting to feel this being that becomes bigger than the sky, right? Like I just see the celestial being that is you. And I see a little bit of sparkly energy, but I also see a vibrational frequency that is like a no-nonsense person. Like you're not going to mess with my truth, right? Like that is truth. You're not going to mess with it, okay? So this is about you having the strong foundation, which you are building now. Higher self is giving like 2 thumbs up. The things that you've been doing are really enriching that foundation. Now, it's a golden glowing foundation. It's still not set yet, right? Think of like concrete that's not set yet. We've got to work this year going into next to really set that. Only the things are in the foundation that are truly going to help to have it last for your lifetime, right? So again, really feeling into that, we've got to make sure that we scan for what you're to do next, right? What programs you're to take, who you're to work with. That is really important for this, okay? Now, what we're seeing archetypally for you really is this extrasensory intuitive. You're meant to utilize and capitalize on the senses across the board, right? So how do you use your clairaudience and your clairvoyance and your clairgnostic and knowing ability and all of them simultaneously? What is that like for you, right? So that's what we're really discovering and figuring out so that you can carry that into your next year, okay?
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Blessings. Love it. All right, going to Cambridge with Lisa. I'm unmuting you, Lisa. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Welcome. Can we hear you, Lisa? Oh, don't mute or unmute yourself.
Sorry. Hi.
Okay, here you are. Welcome.
Oh, hi. Hi, thank you so much. Hi, good to meet you.
Thank you.
To meet you on air. We've met on email.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, what's your age?
I'm going to be 70 on February 2nd.
Oh, okay. Here is your present.
I have four planets in the sign of Aquarius in my natal chart. So I'm a super Aquarius.
Wow,
You
let
too?
me tune in. So I'm gonna look in. So let's just check to see here. So really starting to feel this energy. We've got to work a little bit on the celestial body for you, right? So the energy's coming in, and what I'm starting to see is vibrationally with that celestial body, your physical body needs to be able to take the light, right? The physical body has to be able to take the light. And what we're seeing is we have to work a little bit on that etheric template body for you. And the astral body sometimes goes out and doesn't come all the way and put back in. So those are the 2 things we've got to work on for this year for you, okay? 1, we've got to get the astral body back in every morning, locked into place, okay? So make sure you call your astral body all the way back in, and you clean the astral body of any of the astral plane kind of dust, right? That residue, okay? Now, that's going to really help because that's right next to that etheric template body, which is the vibrational communication method in which your physical body knows how it needs to be and respond to the information as light coming through, okay? So it's dictating your physical body, like literally your organs, how your organs are going to handle the light, right? Your adrenals have to be able to hold the light. So I see a lot of people out there, I'm going to bring this up because it's important for you. You are a channel. That's part of your archetypal frequency, right? You're meant to be a channel in these years, okay? But if you try to channel and you like beg the divine or call forth the divine and you keep asking for more and more light, higher frequencies, and the adrenals aren't ready to carry that, it can render you like down, right? Like in bed, down, like, oh my God, too much at once, okay? So we're seeing this now, which means we're going to work on those adrenals. Amanda Hopkins here, she can help you with that. Work on the adrenals. Get that energy up, built up, so that you have a reservoir of energy. When the lightning comes, when the light comes, it hits that water and it starts to flow out through your aura. Your celestial body illuminates. It's all reflective. And now, bing, like you're lit up as the channel. Okay? You're lit up as the channel. All right? So that's what I want you working on. Okay?
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Christel.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you, Sophie.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay, let me go back to the Q&A. Going to London with Lisa Renee, 54.
54. Okay, got
Yes.
it. All right. All right. Ooh, lots of energy waves coming. Now, I see this energy coming. I see 3 different vibrational frequencies of waves that are coming from behind you that are moving you. What higher self is saying is you have to watch out that you're not getting confused as to which wave to ride, right? So that means 3 opportunities or 3 different choices or 3 different chances, right? And so higher self is saying pay really close attention. When you're in that 5-4 year, remember again, you're moving forward, but you have to pay attention to where you're stepping because the 4 is the stepping stone. Am I stepping onto this stepping stone, which is going to lead me down that path? Am I paying attention when the stepping stone and the path change? If I have an option to go here or go there, will I know which way to go? Right? So that's vitally important for us to get you really linked up with your intuition to know, right? To be able to really channel the information that is accurate, okay? So what I'm seeing with the blockage for you there is the front third eye and the front throat chakras. That's a past life experience where it's like somebody else took your choice away from you. And you were kind of rendered like, you didn't have a voice and you couldn't share your opinion. Now I'm seeing that 17 past lives ago, okay? So you've got to work on that persona and then start to really open up the intuitive channels so that you know through and through what truth is, okay?
Okay, thank you, Lisa Renee. Blessings. Candy in New Hampshire, 58, and mentions a lot of blocks, feeling stuck, a lot of stuckness, 58.
Oh, interesting. A lot of stuckness. So in the 5s, you're supposed to be, right, moving forward. That doesn't mean that you can't leverage the stuckness, right? Because what we perceive as stuckness might be a dormancy cycle, right? Where we're supposed to go down and go deeper and dig deeper, right? The movement isn't necessarily forward as if it's rocking us forward and down, right? Go deep, dig deep, right? And what we start to see, what was the second number, Sophie?
58.
Okay, so the second number is the 8. So the 8 is about power. The 8 is about infinite power, okay? So that's really, when you look at this and you go from the 5-5, double forward rocking motion. Oh my God, right? And sometimes part of that 5-5, remember mid-initiation cycle, like 45, 55, 65, 75. That's the mid-initiation where your higher self is checking in with you. Are you on track? Because if you haven't been listening, paying attention, not to say that that's what you're doing, but if you haven't, I'm telling you, so many times I give people directives on what to do, and they don't do it. And it's crazy making, because it's like, you booked this session, you want the truth, I'm giving you the truth, but why are you not taking the action in alignment with that? Why do you talk yourself out of things, right? So then the 5-5 year comes, it's meant to be double whammy, like movement forward. But if you're not moving forward in the way that the divine is guiding you to, like, oh, I'm afraid, Christel, I'm afraid to use my intuitive gifts. I'm afraid to come out into the world as a healer. I'm afraid to share with my family that I'm a spiritualist. Whatever your fears are, and you delay it, what happens is it backs up the energy. The universe then has to try to get you to go deeper, right? Even though you're meant to go forward now, because you're not doing it yourself, the universe creates the circumstance of a dormancy cycle. And it has you stop in your tracks, and then you have to go deeper. So I want you to dive deeper. I want you to dig. You're like a miner right now, like you're digging deeper into that. And you're willing to say, I'm meant to be in my power. But you have to look at that 6 year. When the 6 hit, were you in the as above, so below? Did you really believe when people told you who you were? In the 7 year, when the light came through, and the light shines. The light shines upon the things that you're not meant to do anymore. The light shines upon the things that it's like, wow, that person's not supporting me. Did you let them go? Right? So to get ready for the 8 year, which you're taking your power and you're really claiming that. And if you're in a dormancy cycle, you can go deeper with that power and really pull yourself out of that. So higher self is really saying, pay attention and reevaluate. And go back, wow, what was I doing in my 55 year? What happened? Was I really willing to make those changes? And past life, we're going to 94 past lives ago, where your power was slipped out of your hands. Like, I'm literally feeling powerlessness and hopelessness. So make sure you clear that as well, okay?
Yeah,
right.
Thank you. Thank you. I love this perspective, shift of perspective from stuckness into going deeper, right? Because that's something I believe many need to hear. Well, for some it is stuckness, but for many it is a shift of perspective, and let's make this phase fruitful by going deeper and doing what you're meant to do at this stage. Thank you so much, Christel. Now, Christel, you're going to be the expert speaker on the 4th week of Graceful Connection. So everyone, I want to give you the dates. You're going to want to mark the dates. Wednesday, February the 28th at 9 a.m. Pacific for the video meetup with Christel, and Friday, March the 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific for live intuitive readings galore. So that's going to be more of these laser readings, going straight to the core, to the issue. So really mark your calendars. You won't want to miss this. Now, Christel, without giving it all away, would you give us a preview of what you're going to be sharing, what you're going to be offering in that time?
I'm excited about this. It's a brand new program, okay? And the title of what I'm going to be speaking on is Unveiling Celestial Wisdom, the Oracle's Gateway to Higher Dimensional Channeling, right? This is all about how you're connecting as a celestial channel with the beings that are actually presenting themselves for you. And what I was feeling and what I was getting as I was going through sessions with clients, because I've done a lot, many years now, of working with Archangel Metatron and Metatron's Cube, and starting to be able to observe people's transition and their ascension process, literally like their consciousness ascending into dimensional realms. And these dimensions going higher and deeper, not just one way, right? Now think about this. We all think about our guides. Our guides are always with us. Our Wise One team is around us. But our Wise One team doesn't just have guides in it. When we start to get to that 5th dimensional level of awareness and we start to live from that 5th dimensional realm, we start to actually call in other beings. And these other beings, right? I don't want to give too much away, but these other beings are slightly different than our guides. Guides, how do we talk to our guides? Versus what's the language of oracles? Versus what's the language of the devas? Right? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a 3-part live empowerment series, and it's called Guided by Light. It's the light vibration and frequency and language, but I have to help you when you're engaging with your spirit guides, your oracles, and your devas. I need to make sure that these channels and the specific vibrational frequencies, language of light and energy can move through you so that you're accurate in the connection, the translation of it. So this is personalized, specific guidance. I'll be working with you on these live calls. I'm going to be making these micro attunements. So these are energy labs where we're using Metatron's Cube to support you with adjusting and getting that intuitive guidance and the clarifications that you need so that you're able to ascend in both directions, which means the 5th dimension above and the 5th dimension below, right? So we actually have that available now. It was my surprise that I told Sophie, like in the wee hours of the morning, that I wanted to offer this, even though it's not even, we don't even have a sales page, you guys. I'm offering it to you today. If you want to take part in that, you want to jump in, there it is. Limited, as you can tell, with our first cohort. If you want to get in on that, I'm doing a fast action bonus. If you buy it within 24 hours, you're going to actually get an intuitive reading that's personalized for you of each of your primary dimensional beings. So who's your primary spirit guide for your initiation cycle that you're in right now? Who's your primary oracle for your initiation cycle right now as that celestial channel? And who's your primary dimensional deva that you're working with right now for the initiation cycle you're in and going forward? Okay? So if you want that, Sophie, you have to tell them how to get to that if they want to.
I'm gonna do that. I have sparkles and chills up and down in my spine as you're speaking. This is so exciting, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Christel. So everyone, jump on the fast action bonus. You have the link on the webcast page and on the replay page. So if you're on the phone right now, wait for the replay and go to the link to the replay page with the link. You will find it there, and it's gonna be until 12 p.m. Pacific on Thursday, January the 31st. So it's really before it's even out of the oven, right? We don't have the sales page, we don't have materials for you to read. It's what you've just heard, and if just like me, you feel tingles in your spine or wherever it's calling you, that's for you, and take action now. Thank you so much, Christel. That's really really amazing.
It's exciting.
It is. I love it.
We're gonna really immerse ourselves in this, strengthening your connection there, but also exploring the depths of that cosmic support that you have. And most people don't know that when you start to go down this path, you really have to understand how to navigate the realms. And it's natural for one, but we want to have it natural for all three. Elevating your intuitive capacity, right? And these spiritual allies are there at each level, so it's very exciting.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. So again, everyone, on the webcast page right now, if you're on the web or on the replay page, you have a link. Click the link, and that's where you can purchase your Guided by Light three-part series. And I must say, the Energy Labs with you, Christel, it's such an amazing experience, so much depth and such a profound experience and transformation. So if you haven't experienced this already, everyone listening, that's something totally unique and that you will want to experience, certainly. Thank you so much, Christel. We are very much looking forward to being with you again soon. We had a little preview today. We'll be back. So again, on the February 28th and March 1st, we're back with Christel. Mark your calendars. Much love to you. Many blessings, Christel. Thank you so much for all your generous offerings, your time, and the brilliance of your readings and everything you offer. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And you're getting ready to have our brilliant wizards. And medical intuitive Amanda, sending love to you.
Thank you.
Blessings, everyone. You're in good hands. Blessings. Thank you, Sophie, and love to all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Christel. Blessings. All right. So before I welcome Amanda, let's reset. I'm gonna I'm gonna lower all the hands. Let's clear the plate and start anew. So second part of our warm-up pre-party. How are you? Loving it so far? I'm having a wonderful time. It's really exciting, everything that's happening here. Now we are welcoming Amanda Hopkins, clairvoyant, medical intuitive, and wizard. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you. My goodness, I am buzzing. Welcome back to forth, grounding. So much light coming in. All those beautiful readings from Christel, and such, always appreciating her brilliance, and just such a great foundation set for launching into this whole series, and then also, of course, for launching into the body. I love how with the readings, we're seeing where the light's wanting to come into the body, but there is density that needs to be shifted. And so, like Christel said, that's where I come in. So I'm excited. Thank you, Sophie, for having me.
My pleasure, our pleasure. So for everyone, let me introduce Amanda. You may know Amanda as the producer and the host of the Telesummit Academy Discovery Series for Illuminations. And besides, she's an international expert in identifying deficient energy flow in the body that impairs function and creates disease. She's known for her clairvoyant ability to penetrate deeply into the root cause and immediately identify the main elements causing illness. With her keen intuitive mastery and wizard-like abilities, Amanda has supported hundreds of people with restoring energy flow so their body can repair itself and recover its high-level vitality. And really, her purpose is to greatly empower you in your relationship with your body. So today, Amanda is going to do live clairvoyant readings to identify the number one paradigm corrupting your cellular codes, creating a mismatch in your body vibration and soul vibration. So would you tell us just a little bit about it before we get started with the readings? What do we need to know, Amanda?
Yes, I would love to share just a little bit. So one of the things that I was shown very early on, when people would come to me for session work, they'd have an ache, they'd have something going on in their body, digestive issues, whatever it was. I would start to go in and I would peer deep in, right? And we'd start to uncover what's beneath this, what's at the root of all this physical stuff that's going on. And I would start to see these connections. So somebody might be having digestive issues that were related to like their right shoulder. And I'm like, well, this is a strange connection going on here. How is this related? It's just, logically, initially, we're not going to necessarily connect these two body parts. And so, as I started to go deeper, what I found was that the internal wiring of the body that makes up what's happening within the body. So we have an ideal template of flow when we come in, when we're born. If you follow Vedic astrology, and human design, that with the date, the time, the place, all these factors that come in as to where you're born, you have an ideal makeup that aligns with your soul and how you're meant to flow energy through your body, how you're meant to live. You have certain strengths, things that you're really, really good at that feel easy and natural. And you probably think, oh, everyone's good at that. But no, you're good at that because you're naturally wired to run that energy through your body. What happens is that through different lifetimes, as we come in through our generational patterns, projections from others, different traumas that we experience, that energy flow gets distorted. And so we start to have these intricate adjustments that we build into our energy field that distort and shift the energy flow to try to compensate for that patterning that's come in that's not in alignment with that highest soul essence and vibe. right? And so what I've found over time is that really essentially our body is yearning inside always to be illuminated by and to radiate out the essence of your pure soul light, your unique expression of divinity that's reflected in this universe. You are that unique reflection of divinity as you, as a soul being, and your body wants to express that outward. And everything that you desire to contribute, to experience, stems from that expansive nature of you. And when your body's operating in accordance with that greater essence, that divine design that I was talking about, that you're born into, you feel light, you feel free, you're open to the bliss. You're really available to that which lights you up, right? It's not coming in and hitting up that density like Christel was describing. But when there are disruptions and the interferences due to those factors I mentioned, then there are other cellular programs that start to come in and take hold and take root, and they're a mismatch for that high truth. And so that's that whole different experience in your body where you start to feel that internal ache. That happens when your soul's not being heard, it's not being received. And your soul is that light energy coming in. And so when it's not being received in its fullness to the degree that it's meant to express in and through you, that's when you start to have that internal ache reflected as the physical symptoms, as ailments, as aches, pain, stiffness, tightness, discomforts, right? It's the compounding of, the soul comes in. And as Christel was mentioning, I thought that was so beautiful in one of the readings that she did. She was mentioning that, when you do the work, when you listen to what's being called through, when you go in and you make those internal shifts, then you're ready. Your body's ready for the light to come in, that next evolution, that next expansion. But when you don't, that internal ache that starts as a whisper, that internal yearning and desire that becomes that ache, that then starts to compound and build and build and build. And those discomforts get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. They will not go away until we open up to receiving the soul direction and guidance through our body. Our bodies are so intimately linked with guiding us to live our soul purpose and mission in this lifetime. And so as we really open up to that, as we go deeper into that, that's what really creates the freedom of the body. We start to go beyond this idea of, I want to alleviate my symptoms and I want to be a vessel of light, and that yearning and that seeking for that, into a becoming of the light vessel, right? You recognize that the light is moving through me, and you can start to recognize the subtle places where, okay, there's a little resistance here, let me shift that. There's a little resistance here, let me shift that. And you become such a seeker of the light that when that focus shifts, you actually get shown much more quickly, and you can shift much more quickly the energies in the body that are creating the constriction, the tightness, the limitation that really is just pointing you into that soul connection. So as we go and we start to recognize that soul essence of self, what the soul wants to express through us, it is the fastest way to alleviate symptoms. But sometimes we have to use these symptoms as a way to that soul direction, right? So we work both ways. We work both ways.
Yeah.
That's really what we're doing with these readings. As we're going in and we're recognizing, how is the body, I'll be looking at how is your body meant to flow energy, and what is that number one discrepancy that you have going on that's creating that body soul dissonance. So that dissonance, really, that's just the mismatch, right? That's the mismatch in the vibrational tone and essence. So when the light comes in as a wave, it's the waves aren't matching up. The wave that's coming in isn't matching up to the wave of the body tone. And so that's what I'm looking for, what is that discrepancy? And then what needs to be adjusted so that you can have that match up. That's the clarity I'm going to be giving you. And so just to get specific, what I'll be identifying, if you've been with me before, you kind of know that I do the reading very, very similar most of the time, but just to express, I'll be looking at where in the body is that greatest mismatch, that greatest dissonance, right? That number one paradigm related to that, I'm going to be looking at the emotion that's associated with that, the belief that's associated with that, and where that was created for you on the timeline. So you can shift those energies and bring that space of the body back into resonance. Now, if there are other connections, so let's say, Sophie, that I see, your number one discrepancy is in the stomach, right? If there are other parts of the body that are also holding that discrepancy, I'll note for you to also clear in those areas of the body as well as you're doing the shift, okay? So we'll be thorough, but we'll also be quick. So buckle your seatbelts, get ready.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, thank you. And before we go there, I must say I love hearing from you. You bring to us such a brilliant understanding of the body's intelligence. That's one thing I love spending time with you, Amanda. And today I love hearing that our body will not let us get away with not living our life's purpose. That is so important to know. And we can count on the body, then we have to work together. Okay. To get your
just to qualify that too, our body isn't going into pain as like oh man, my body's not cooperating. It's telling you something, right? It's there for you. When your body's in pain, it's there for you. And I know when you're in pain, that's not always the first place you're going to go, right?
Yeah.
But we want to really get to that point where where the pain doesn't have to reach a high level of intensity for us to receive the messages. And so that's the, a big part of why we're doing the things that we do here through these spaces like Graceful Connections and what we're doing here today through the readings.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Amanda. So everyone, to get your reading on the phone, press *2 to come on the line with Amanda, or click raise hand on the webcast, or you can put your request in the Q&A box on the webcast. And to receive your reading, ask the question, what's my number one program causing body-soul dissonance? So let's start with a few live callers, then we'll go to the Q&A. We're going to Los Angeles with Lesia. Unmuting you. Hello. Lesia, are you there? Hello? We can't hear you. Okay, well, let's go then to Catasauqua, Pennsylvania. Let me unmute you. Hello?
Hello, Sophie. It's Sue. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, Sue. Welcome, Sue.
Thank you. Thank you for picking me. Okay, Amanda, what is my paradigm for my energy flow?
Yeah, so we're going to look at that number one paradigm of body-soul dissonance. So, Sue, where I'm being guided to you is upper middle back. And what I'm being shown is what looks like a dial there, where the dial is showing that there's only so much light that you can bring in that space. This is all about feeling safe in the body. And so that dial is like a titrator. And the reason it's in the back, it's the back heart, the mid-back, connecting into the back heart, is because there's a recognition that there's so much power and light that comes through that heart space for you, right? And so there's this dial that's trying to titrate that. There's a fear of having too much light moving through the body makes you vulnerable, makes you susceptible to attack, is what I'm seeing. That is in a past life that I'm seeing that paradigm having been created 38 past lives ago. So we're going to want to have you clear on that point on the timeline. Also in that back heart space, what I'm also seeing is that it's created bindings around the knees, right? So it's creating this sort of immobility, like don't move too far forward too fast. Be cautious, take slow, small steps. This is all energies that are tied into this paradigm. So that's all energy that you want to clear. When you shift that, that's going to bring you into greater full resonance within your body. Thinking of the significance of the heart circulates the blood through the body that delivers vital nutrients, that delivers oxygen to the cells, right? So when we have a titration, when we have a limitation on the heart, we're actually limiting that which can circulate through our entire body. So when you shift that, it's going to allow so much more of that light to circulate through your entire body, okay?
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Sue. Blessings.
Appreciate blessings to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Let's try again, Lesia. Let me unmute you now. Hello? Lesia? Well, can you, yes, I was going to say, can you do the reading for Lesia? Lesia, you're listening anyway, so that's right.
I got you. So let's tune in for Lesia and see here. Okay, so I'm actually being drawn to the back back of the skull off to the right, just behind the right ear as well. So there's an energetic, what looks like a ball there. And what I'm hearing is that there's a storage of memories of all the things I've done wrong. So there's this sense of feeling like if I remember all the things I've done wrong, then I can make sure I'm doing things right. There's a perception of having to do things the right way and not the wrong way. If I do them the wrong way, I won't be loved, right? So this all comes back to that sense of what do I have to do to be loved? And then really doing an exploration of what's deemed right, what's deemed wrong, what do I have in my patterning and programming, and dissolving that paradigm that says there's something that I have to do to be loved, right? Love is sourced from within. So there's that external seeking of love from outside of self. So we've got to have you rewired to recognize the love that flows within you, sourcing it there first, and then allowing the outside world to reflect that back to you, okay? Now, where I see that fear of not being loved by doing things wrong, having originated for you is 13 past lives ago. In that lifetime, it's seeking that approval of mom and dad. That was what was perceived as what was needed in order to be loved. And so we want to have you dissolve at that point on the timeline, all of that paradigm all the way up through to now, and then dissolve and release that structure in the back of the head and the right ear. It's really not allowing you to receive the full auditory messages that are wanting to come in through that right ear, okay? It's distorting them. So it's like you might get glimpses, you might get pieces, but it's like if I were talking and you were only getting small segments and part of this was muted, you wouldn't understand the whole message of what I was saying, right? That's similar as to what's coming in for you right now as information. So the body's trying to respond, but it's throwing the body into a state of confusion, right? So as you release that, you're also going to want to clear any emotion of confusion anywhere that, kind of do a scan of the body and really clear out that confusion that's been created as a result of this as well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. Blessings. Thank you, Amanda. We're going to South San Francisco, California with Kathy. Unmuting you, Kathy. Hello.
Hi, Sophie. Hi, Amanda. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'd love to know what's my number one program that's causing my body-soul dissonance. Thank you.
Going to tailbone and back right hip. So there's a bar-like energy that I see sitting in there that's creating immobility. And what I see, it's like that bar-like energy is trying to serve as that, think of like if you were centered in truth. That's what it's like, that bar, you have it sitting at the tailbone and then your right hip can move as long as that bar is staying in place at the tailbone, right? So that bar, it's like that's the moving piece that allows your body to move. It's directing the body movement. Now, the whole intention behind this is protection. The belief that's associated with it is that the world, it's not safe out there. The world is hazardous. Those are the words coming in. I actually see this as a projection from the maternal timeline. So it's coming through that maternal timeline going back 6 generations. And there's that projection that's sitting over top of the head, and then the energy is running down to that hip and tailbone, and it's running down behind you. So it would be hard for you to actually see it for yourself. A lot of times when I see, we're starting to notice I'm seeing things behind the body for a lot. The energy is running down behind the back and into that bar-like energy. And having that create a range of motion that you can move within that feels safe for you. So we want to have you shifting, dissolving the belief of the world being hazardous. It's not safe out there. Are there dangers? Sure. But, we want your intuition to be your guide. We don't want this projection and the perception about what you think might not be safe to guide you. Okay? Because sometimes the things that are the most expansive seem like they could be scary, but they're actually what we need. So we want to have you shifting this dynamic because it actually has your heart shrinking back, like your shoulder. I see your shoulders curling forward and your heart shrinking back in your chest, so you can't really be fully open to receive the fullness of energy that wants to move in and through you as a result of this. So you're going to want to kind of do a posture check, clear anything out of the back and the heart, the front chest and heart and shoulder, as well as you're doing the clear.
Wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you.
You're
okay. You're welcome. Thank you, Kathy. Blessings. All right, we're going to the Twin Cities, Minnesota, 1098. Last digits on the phone, unmuting you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Yes,
Yes,
we can hear you. What is your name, please?
My name is Betty.
Hi, Betty.
Betty Salvo. Mm-hmm.
All right.
And what's my number one program that's causing dissonance in my body-soul resonance?
Yeah, I'm seeing what looks like a V-like energy, but it's like a curved V. I don't know if you ever drew, like when you're a kid and you draw birds and it's just like the curvy V. That's what I'm seeing. Right above the eyebrows, dipping down between the eyebrows and coming back up. I see what looks like an energy block, like it's like I keep hearing the word eye mask. It's like how you would use an eye mask, but it's actually for third eye. If it's like limiting that light coming in through the forehead. But that dip down is so that it's almost like you could peer out over top just enough, right? So it's like you're being blocked, but you can peer out and see just enough. And that's the perception that you can kind of identify what's going to be a danger or what do you need to plan for or what you need to do. Now, what's interesting about what's behind this is that when I go to it's 12 past lives ago that I see this having been created, and the whole fear is that I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to be perceived as foolish or not intelligent or not smart or silly. The fear is that you'll be rejected if you're seen that way. That's what I see in the past life that's driving this. So what's happening is with that energetic structure there in that forehead space, it's not allowing you to actually see a clear vision of what could be possible, like the beauty, the joy, right? It's like you just barely are kind of peeking through and seeing just a small piece of the picture. And so it's not allowing you to actually tap in to see the fullness, because when we see a small glimpse of something, we might not recognize the context of what's really going on in the whole big picture. And so we can perceive that incorrectly, right? So it's really skewing your capacity to envision for the future what you really want to bring into creation. And for you, I see that one of the abilities that you really have a high resonance with. So we want to have you dissolving that so you can connect back in with that, because that's going to help open up your body to feel lighter and more free. There's also, energy that's pulling in the lower back in relation to this that you're going to want to clear. It's frustration and sadness around feeling like it's just never going to happen for me. Okay, so we want to clear that in conjunction with this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Very thorough readings. Thank you, Amanda, for being so, comprehensive and detailed. Yeah, let's go to the Q&A. We'll come back to take more live callers. Let's go to the Q&A for now. We're going to Sacramento, California with Patricia. What's her number one program causing body-soul dissonance?
Yeah, for Patricia, I'm being drawn to the right eye, and what I'm being shown is that it's almost like the left eye I see being closed up, and the right eye is feeling overworked, right? So there's a sense of when we look at left brain, right eye, we're looking at there's a lot of logic, there's a lot of emphasis on I've got to do what needs to be done. That's the pattern that I see playing out. I've got to do what needs to be done. There's no room for play or fun right now. There's a lot of pressure and anxiety around this that I also see in the chest. So what we want to have you do is shift that sense of feeling like there's a lot that has to be done. I have to be focused on the logical getting that done. That stems from 13 past lives ago. Not that you want to take your energy totally out of that. There are things that need to be done, but we want you to bring the balance to allow the creative flow to come in, because the creative flow is what allows you to see different possibilities or options of how things can get done in a more playful, joyful, fun way, in the way that you're meant to do it, and not necessarily the way that somebody told you it should be done this way. So we want to have you dissolving that energy in the lifetime, and then really doing some deep clearing on that right eye and also the chest.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Patricia. Blessings. Going to Austin with Beverly.
Yeah, Beverly. So for you, I'm being drawn to the back neck. It's what looks like a pivoting rod. That's how it's coming in, but it's a vertical beam of energy, but it's a real dense energy, like a real dense, dark energy. And it's that range of motion thing we have here going again. It's like you can look in this direction left, this direction right, but this is a sense of feeling like this is what I'm allowed to do. I'm not allowed to go beyond this. I have to wait for permission. There's a sense of feeling like I have to get permission so I don't get into trouble, right? There's a real fear of getting into trouble, being punished. And the punishment, the greater fear is that, I won't be able to have what I want if I try to go for it my own way. I have to do it in the way that is dictated by, and it's some higher authority, right? In the past life that I see, 39 past lives ago for you, it was dad in that lifetime. So in this lifetime, it's a mimicking of that. So there's some higher authority. It might be boss, it might be relationship partner, it might be someone else, it might even be kids, right? Like I'd have to do what they need to do. But there's that perception of that higher authority. It might even be your own inner voice, right? That has taken on projections about what you're allowed to do. So we want to have you dissolving all of that energy and that sense of feeling like there's someone you have to answer to, right? And let yourself be free and open to the words that are coming in right now for you from higher self are being in service to self will help you be of greater service to others. And I think that's an important message for everybody, Sophie. This is one that comes up a lot in sessions, a lot in the body. We've really got to get to the root of clearing away this sense of feeling like I have to sacrifice myself to be there for others, because you are not your most effective self in that state. Anybody. So thank you for bringing that through there in that reading as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you. Blessings. All right. Going to Nelson with Diana.
So Diana, for you, I'm being drawn to the front center of the forehead. I see a circular disc-like energy, and it's related to your feet. So what I'm seeing is there's the projection out. There's like this seeking of, I've got to look out into the future. There's a tendency to want to predict or plan for what's going to be ahead and be really prepared. So I see the circular disc on the forehead. I see a heavy sack on the back. It's like, I've got all my tools. I'm ready to go. I have everything I could possibly need for what might come my way. And then the feet are heavy. They're like bricks. And it's because of all this carrying, all this feeling like I have to plan and I have to carry all this stuff with me. And it's like you're slogging through mud, right? So you've got these heavy energies that are really weighing you down and not allowing you to move so fully forward. This could be reflected as tightness in the body. It could be reflected as weight potentially. Different things that are showing up that are slowing you down, or even if you want to go do something, it's like, you're taken out, you're not feeling well, right? It can show up in a lot of different ways. So however that's showing up for you, this is the root of what we want to have you shifting, is dissolving that sense of having to be so planned and prepared for every possible misadventure, right? We want to open you back up to your intuition and let you come back into a space of trust. The whole essence of this is you're not trusting what comes through your body as directive guidance. So, we want to have you clearing that sense of not being able to trust myself, having to carry this heavy weight. For you, I see that having originated 35 past lives ago, that whole paradigm of not being able to trust yourself. And what it looks like is you were told in that lifetime that you weren't able to trust yourself. And that's the projection that's held in that circular disc that's in that front forehead for you right now. So that's the biggest place to start.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Diana. Blessings to you. All right, Lesia writes, thank you. So I'm glad to know you get your reading, Lesia. Beautiful. We're going to Finland with Päivi. A reading for Päivi.
Yeah, Päivi, tuning in for you. I'm being taken to right ear, and it looks like a wire, energetic wiring that's running around the ear and then kind of plugging in like an earbud. And what I'm hearing around this is that this is the information that I need to be hearing. There's a perspective or a perception that there's the information that you need to hear is coming from somewhere outside of self, and you have to be dialed in and tuned in into the ear. Now, you may be getting messages from guides, from divine, from angels or oracles or, whomever, right? But also we want to recognize your own soul voice. Right? You some of that messaging is coming in through your body. It's your own soul voice. It is you. Right? And so rather than having to tune to a certain frequency through this earbud, what I'm seeing is that your body wants to receive it direct to self, right? All the cells receiving simultaneously. So you've got your feeling senses, your hearing senses, your sight senses, right? All wired to receive in real time. And so this wiring is actually having you tune out some of the higher frequencies that are wanting to come in, because it's like it can only tune to one station at a time, right? Now, this is to prevent overwhelm. The fear is of being overwhelmed. It's all too much. I can't handle it. That goes back to 27 past lives. So we want to have you clearing at that point on the timeline, and also dissolving that structure and allowing you to receive auditorily in the way that you're meant to, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ivy. Blessings. Thank you, Amanda. Let's go back to live callers. We're going to go to North Carolina with Jean. I'm unmuting you, Jean. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I would love to have a reading, Amanda.
Absolutely. So for you, I'm going to your throat, and thyroid is also coming in with this. What I'm being shown is that there's like an encasing around the thyroid, and then even like a casing around the neck and throat itself. There's a fear of being shut down or a fear of being quieted, right? I see this linked to a past life. It's 45 past lives ago. And I see like a hit to the throat. Now, what I'm hearing is that this wasn't a physical hit, but it's like an energetic hit, like shutting you up. That's how it's coming in. It's like a really strong, like, why are you talking? Like, who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think you are? Right? It's a put down of you as a being, like diminishing you, and then also shutting down that voice simultaneously. And there's an overbearing sense of what you need to survive being taken away if you do speak up and out. So this is really playing into that, the survival needs. I do see that being held also in the pelvis, right? Down around the base of the spine, the tailbone there, in the pelvic girdle, the whole seat of your hips even. So, you know, a lot of that, there's that fear of my needs aren't going to be met if I speak up and out. So we want to dissolve that. That's going to help thin out that casing. That casing that I see around both the thyroid and the throat is really for protection, to stop that hit of energy coming in. So also you're going to want to work with really reconditioning your auric field to serve as a natural filter, so that the light, you know, that kind of attacking light sort of bounces off, if you can imagine, the auric field rather than being able to penetrate through. So those are the pieces that you're going to want to work with, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Thank you, Jean. Blessings. All right, we're going to London with Morelis. Hold on, let me unmute you, Morelis. Hello, welcome.
Hello, thank you very much, ladies.
You're
welcome. Thank you. What is my number one blockage?
Yeah, so I'm seeing what looks like a rift. There's an energetic separation in the mind, right and left. And what I'm hearing is that there's this fear of being too domineering, or a fear of being too oppressive. Like, I don't want to be too much in power. Like, I don't want to force my will on others. And this stems from a past life. It's 38 past lives ago, where you were receptive of somebody trying to force their will on you. And you're like, I'm never going to do that. So there's this rift in the mind of feeling like compartmentalizing the power, compartmentalizing the energy, so that you're not too forceful, right? It's like, it's almost like as if the right mind is checking left mind, and left mind is checking right mind, like they're checking up on each other. And so you can have a natural balance, right, between left and right mind, but it doesn't have to be in such a way that they're shutting each other down so that you're not overbearing. But we've got to get that, because I see that being reflected in the power center. There's a lot of energy being shut down all through that digestive tract and system. In the lower back, there's energy that's kind of being pulled, like pulling down on that lower back in relation to this as well, kind of almost keeping you stuck and pulled backwards as you try to move forward and dragging on you. So we want to have you shifting all that and really have you release that fear of being fully in power, right? Remember that when you come fully in power within your body, that empowerment allows you to be in choice around what you're allowing through your body, what you're bringing through your body, the actions you're taking that support your body, these kinds of things. So really shifting that perspective of what it means to be fully in your power as well as you do that clearing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. Blessings. All right. We are going to New Jersey with Michelle. Unmuting you, Michelle. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, welcome, Michelle.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm so happy. I can't even believe I'm being asked. I don't remember the question to ask. I'm sorry, Amanda.
That's okay. I got it. I'm just tuning in for that body soul dissonance when you come on. So just you being here, you showing up, that's perfect. So where I'm being drawn is I'm seeing what looks like a chain, kind of like, if you have a pair of glasses and you have the chain that runs around the back so that if you take them off, they can hang around your neck. That's what I'm seeing is the chain. It's running around the ears and around the back, but I don't see the glasses in front. It's just a chain in the back. And what I'm hearing, it's like as if you took the glasses off that were a filter that were limiting you, but the chain is there just in case, you ever need to pull back or revert back. There's a fear of letting go of the old things that aren't working. Out of I might need them at some point. So it's like, I cleared the front, but let me just hold on to this in the back. Let me just stuff this away in case I need it. I see that having originated for you 27 past lives ago. And, I see famine energy, not enough resources, not enough to go around. So there's that deep sense of fear, and not just for you, but there's almost like a feeling like if I hold on to this stuff, then if somebody else needs it, I'll have it as well. So it's not just about you even. So we really want to have you shifting that sense of holding on to these things is going to serve you and let you reconnect in with that infinite source that provides all you could possibly need in any present moment, right? In any moment, all our physical things could be taken away, but when we retain our connection to source, we will be shown the way to recreate or generate or receive what it is we need. So that's what I see wanting to emerge within you through your body. So I see, even as we're talking, I kind of see some micro distortions along the spine that we're going to want to have you come back into congruence. So making sure that you're clearing along the spine as you make those deeper shifts.
How do I do that?
Well, I just recently did your illuminated spine workshop, and that's coming up for you, actually is one way to do that. The other thing that you can do is that if you've signed up for Graceful Connections, did you sign up to get the emails for that?
I did, yes.
Then you should have a welcome gift from Christel. It's a fall series that we're launching into. It's called Love Your Body, right? So the first call will be tomorrow. So you're going to want to tune into that as well, because that's going to walk you through a lot of pieces that are going to help with making some shifts and adjustments as well. Okay,
thank you. I love Christel's workshops. We do all of them, and yours too. Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love it. You guys
wonderful.
I swear.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank
Blessings.
You too.
And thank you for the opportunity to mention, yes, Christel's gift, Love Your Body, starting tomorrow. So everyone, sign up to Graceful Connections and get this gift and many other gifts. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Let's go. Denise in Mystic or wherever you are. Denise, I'm unmuting you. Hello.
Hi, Sophie. Hi,
Denise.
Hi, Denise.
What is my number one program causing body-soul dissonance?
Yeah, I'm going to the right back, just under the shoulder blade. And I see what looks like a knotted energy there. And what I'm hearing is like, I got to do that, or really, there's like this disgust-like energy of like what I feel I have to do. And that stems back to 19 past lives ago for you. And what I'm being shown is that whole lifetime was all about you living in servitude to others. And so in this lifetime, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. But that energy of that, it's like it's still there because there's a perception that I don't want to forget that I want to live on my terms and I want to do things the way that I want to do them and I want to have them the way that I want them to be, right? And so there's nothing wrong with claiming that. Like, we actually want you to be in that choice and in that sense of, ooh, this is how energy is meant to flow through me. I want to have it. But you don't have to hold on to that paradigm in that back there in order to retain that. So as you clear that out, what I want to have you do is really draw in and really start to reflect into what are the energies, what is it that you want to feel in your body that allows you to come into even greater congruence of all the things that you want to be doing, and letting go of things that really aren't yours to do. There's a sense of holding on to, because of that energy of holding on to things that you have to do that really could potentially be outsourced or sent to someone else. So they're kind of carrying the weight of that a little bit in the back there. So there's another level. There's another level of opening and you releasing that and really embracing the beauty as you release that out of your body.
Well, thank you so much. That was so fast.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you. Blessings. Yeah.
Bye.
Let's get this out of the way.
Yes.
That's certainly like the kind of energy. I
mean,
love
we've all
it.
felt that, right? I mean, we've all had things where it's like, oh, do I really have to do this? So I think that's so good for anybody who's got that going on. Check in with your body right now.
What is your and go ahead and clear it, get rid of it. Yeah, thank you. Love it. Okay, we're going to Brunswick, Georgia 0824. I'm unmuting you. Hello. Hello, hello. Can't hear you. Okay, there you are, maybe. Hello, Brunswick. Can't hear you. I don't have your name, so I don't know. Okay. Well, let's go to the Q&A. Let's go to the Q&A. We have more choice than even needed. So many requests. Thank you, everyone. We're going to Hendersonville, North Carolina with Melinda. Melinda writes, what's my number one program causing body-soul dissonance? I have been battling with cancer on my vocal cords, but getting better.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing, there's an energy running up the spine from the tailbone up and out to the right. It bears out to the right just above the navel, kind of like hooking, curving out. And what I'm hearing is that this ties into a really old belief. We're going back 108 past lives ago. And there's a sense of feeling like suffering brings me closer to God. So there's a perception that the suffering is pious. That's what's going to bring you into the promise of heaven. And what your higher self is showing me is that you can actually start to shift that paradigm out. Shift that paradigm and invite God consciousness into the body to experience the heaven now. And, when you start to become that vessel for God or divine, you release the need to earn the favor of God because you are already becoming a living vessel of God, right? Everything that I do, I know it's my offering, right? Everything that I do, there's so much, what we call selfless service or seva that I'm called into often. I always find myself in that position. And for me, it's always an offering. And so the more we come into that space of allowing ourselves to be the vessel of divine, we can release these paradigms of feeling like we have to be in pain or suffering to earn the favor of God. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be going out giving of all of yourself at the expense of you, right, in selfless service. That's not what I'm saying. And what I'm being shown specifically here with this energy that's hooking out is that we first have to have you dissolve that perception that it's through suffering that you enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay, really dissolve that perspective and that perception. And then your heart is still going to want to be in that flow. That's why I brought that in of the selfless service. Your heart is still going to want to be in that space of contribution because that's what you're made for, right? So let yourself recognize the ways in which you can receive and then give from the illumination of your own body out into the world. Okay, there's part of what's going on specifically for you is that there's also at the result of this paradigm, that sense of feeling like I'm too tired to keep giving and to keep doing more, right? There's that sense of that I have nothing left to give. There's that perception that you also want to clear and dissolve out with this, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Melinda. Blessings. Thank you, Amanda. Going to Menominee with Pam.
Yeah, so Pam, for you, I'm seeing, it's interesting, I'm seeing goggles on the eyes, but one is like, it's like the one that you can stretch out and you can see far away. That's on the left eye. And then the other one's stretching back into the brain on the right eye, right? So it's like you've got these two goggles, one's looking out, one's looking in. And it's like, there's this perception that there has to be this kind of communication between what's being seen out in the world and the brain. Like there has to be a connector for that, based on what is perceived to be okay. So it's almost like these goggles are serving as like the one that's going way out there and looking at it's like, oh my gosh, there's all this possibility. And then the other goggle going backwards is like, oh my gosh, is it okay for me to even perceive this or bring it in, right? This is the idea behind it. The whole idea is keeping you safe from something that's too far out there or too far gone or too far removed, and people are going to think you're crazy. The whole perception is, I don't want to be perceived as crazy, right? That fear of being seen as crazy. This goes back to a past life. It's 10 past lives ago, where it looks like, you may have been a little ahead of your time there and it wasn't well received. And, many of you here have probably experienced that to some degree in some lifetime. And so really just want to acknowledge that essence and that sense of allowing yourself to release that need to be received in conjunction with this, and also that perception of having to get permission or having it to be okay or to be safe for you to bring that energy in, right? Releasing that, dissolving that, and letting you just be present to what wants to be available for you. You can use your divine discernment. You can use your discernment, your intuition to say, okay, here's what I'm meant to bring forward now, right? Or you can have people who can help you. Like I know one of the things that a lot of us in the academy do, we scan. We've learned how to scan, right? And so we scan for ourselves. Am I meant to bring this through now? Am I meant to do this now, right? So there's different techniques you can learn, or you can, we've got people who can scan for you. If you want to book a session, you can reach out and do that. But, with this dynamic, we really want to have you shifting that perspective of having to titrate what you bring in so that you can have all available. Because what's happening is that your body is now closing off and shutting off the light that wants to move through the body as a result of this, feeling like that's not safe for the body to receive, right? And so that's really depleting a lot of the energy reserves in the body. And, the spleen especially I see is really almost like shrunken in the energy of that. And so just remembering the spleen plays an important role in our immunity. So, we want to make sure that that's operating in its ideal flow, to keep us kind of properly titrating what comes in, what gets to come in and what doesn't get to come in. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pam. Blessings to you. Going to Arizona, Tempe, Arizona with Heather.
Okay, Heather, checking in for you. I'm seeing an energetic bar run like all the way down from between the eyebrows down. It's running behind the nose and down through the mouth, kind of like a bar through the lips to keep the mouth closed, right? What I'm hearing is that this bar moves up and down. And so it's like, there's a sense of feeling like I have to connect in with the mind to see if it's okay for me to say something, right? So that's why I'm seeing it between the eyes. It's like I have to see if it's okay for me to say something before I can say something. So there's this, network in the mind that's running that is really wanting to keep you from saying something foolish, saying something that's going to cause ridicule, embarrass you. The fear is that you'll be rejected if that happens, and that means that you won't be loved. So it goes to that deeper sense of wanting to be loved, right, and wanting to have community. I also see that impacting the ankles and feet, okay? And so where I see that paradigm having originated is 14 past lives ago, and I hear longing for mother's love in that lifetime. So there's a real deep longing for mother's love that's associated with that. So really work with Divine Mother, Divine Father in bringing those into balance within self and that connection in the heart to help support with that shift, okay?
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. Blessings. Let's do a couple more. We are going to New Jersey, Watchung, New Jersey, with Lana.
Okay, Lana, checking in. For you, I'm going down into the lower back, tailbone, and pelvis area. And what I see, this reminds me a little bit, we were seeing some of the shakiness in the foundation when Christel was doing readings earlier. What I'm seeing for this one is a shaky foundation, right? The wobbling there in that tailbone. There's a wobbling between the sense of obligation and the sense of what I feel like I'm being called to do. And so that sense of what I feel like I'm being called to do, that's the sense of freedom, of lightness, of joy, of pleasure. And so it feels frivolous. It doesn't feel responsible. And there's that sense of I don't want to be seen as irresponsible, or, I want to make sure that I'm responsible for what needs to be done. I see that having originated 8 past lives ago for you, Lana. And as I'm looking into that, there's that sense of freedom, lightness, and what I'm being called to do. It's like it was so overwhelming in that lifetime that you just went for it, but it caused like rifts in that connection between family and you. And so that pain was internalized in the heart, and that's what keeps that foundation wobbling of like, is it really worth following that calling if it's going to create that rift? So the projection of the mind is that if you follow that calling in this lifetime, it's going to be the same outcome. And you don't know that that's true. Right? And this happens a lot where we project out that we think something's going to happen. So then the body clamps up, tightens down, and doesn't allow us to be free in that consistent movement, right? We've got this internal kind of tug of war going on. So want to have you shift that paradigm of feeling like in order to be responsible to what others want, I can't follow what I'm being called to do. Really dissolve that out, because it can be that you can do both simultaneously, and you want to be shown the way. So dissolve that out, because that's going to have you strong and congruent in your central channel with that flow, which is going to fuel your body. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Lana. Blessings. Going to Camas, Washington, with Nia.
Okay, Nia, checking in for you. I'm being drawn to your shoulders. I see what it looks like. Your hands are up on your shoulders, and like as if there's a bar, like as if you're carrying heavy loads on either side of that bar. And this is carrying with you, it's a combination of carrying with you burdens of others on one side, which is the right, and that sense of the memories of what you need to hold on to, of what you have to do, obligations on the left. Right, so burdens on the right, obligations on the left, and it's not balanced, right? So it's like it's throwing you off center. Your shoulders are being logged one way, like it imbalances different times depending on what's coming in. And so there's a huge sense of overwhelm associated with this. Where I see this having originated is 12 past lives ago, and it really links to a deeper sense of not wanting to let others down, right? Like that sense of feeling like you have to be the one to be there for them. So you're going to want to shift into really checking in to see if you are meant to be the one to be there for people, but also really start to reset your body to recognize how you can serve people without taking on their burdens, without feeling obligated to them, right? So this is all energy of other that you're kind of carrying on your back, and carrying people's load for them isn't going to allow them to actually make the internal shift that they need to release the load. So you really want to shift that perception of what's required and release that load off of your own back. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Blessings, Nia. Amanda, I just love the clarity and the precision and the depth of your readings. We could be doing readings all day, but fortunately, we're going to meet again soon. You're going to be the expert speaker on the 6th week of Graceful Connection. So everyone mark the dates for Amanda. We're going to be on Wednesday, March the 13th at 9 a.m. Pacific. That's going to be our video meetup. And on Friday, March 15th at 9 a.m. Pacific, live intuitive readings galore. So we're going to get more of these. Make sure to mark your calendar. You don't want to miss these 2 calls. Now, Amanda, again, without giving it away totally, would you give us hints on what you're going to be offering, what you're going to be sharing to start with?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't have a link for this ready yet, but,
okay.
Just in sharing with this, one of the things that has been coming up, and it came up in one of the readings here, is that there's this deeper sense of pain and suffering that is part of the human condition that seems to be locked in the body. And so there's this perception of pain and suffering that we hold in the body that really drives how our body expresses and how our soul is able to communicate with us, right? And so as we're looking at to really embodying super consciousness, that's the elevated consciousness of our soul and our body, as we're really looking to become that greater channel of light, to have the lightness and the freedom that's associated with that, and have all of our systems firing in the way that they're meant to be, running energy and flow, and evolving, naturally evolving in the way they're meant to, right? This isn't about just a one and done kind of thing. Our bodies are naturally evolving. We know, and I love that Christel started this with the initiations. We know that we are going through different cycles. We know that we are going through different experiences with every year that we are here incarnated. And so we have to have the body adaptable and ready and primed and really in sync with what our soul is wanting to communicate. And so we're going to be going deep into recognizing and understanding the consciousness that we hold within our body, any consciousness that isn't a reflection of that adaptability, that resilience, that freedom, and that connectivity to the soul direct to body, and unwinding and dissolving that, really in that essence of that, shifting the perspectives that have you fearing the pain and the pressure and other uncomfortable conditions that come in the body. So often that's the initial response. Something comes in, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not feeling well. It's going to last forever. Am I going to be able to get rid of it? Like all these thought forms start to come in. I see this all the time, right? So much of the clearing that I do in sessions and workshops and things with people, we're working with this. So we really want to dissolve those fears, because what happens is they throw you into a state of avoidance, right? Like, oh, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to deal with that. And so, as you know, Sophie, then we stuff those emotions down in the body. We might turn to food for comfort instead of vitality, right? Really, that relationship with food becomes skewed. Might be going into escape habits, TV, movies, games, other things, being involved, getting into other people's business even, avoid our own. But the avoidance doesn't actually prevent us from the pain that's coming in the body. It's just going to get louder. It just has to get louder so that it can get our attention, right? So, as we started out, and Sophie, you mentioned this, we really want to start to look at our body as the communicator and indicator of what does our soul want us to know. Right. And so we're going to really dissolve and shift the consciousness that's preventing that. And we're going to go deeper into looking at this dynamic of what are the specific paradigms that lock pain and suffering into the experience of life in this incarnation that are housed in the body. So we're going to go deeper into exploring that and shifting those specific paradigms out. And then also really looking at we're going to go deeper into looking at specific injuries that are held in the body. What's the consciousness of that? What's the consciousness that created the injury? What's the consciousness that resulted of that? And how is that still being held in the body? Because what I was being shown is even something as small as a cut on the finger actually holds a thread of consciousness that spans into these different tendrils of energy and information that shifts how we hold the body. So often any kind of injury creates a protective mechanism that we start to hold in the body to some degree. And that really throws us out of sync with that soul resonance and vibe. That throws us out of sync with the freedom that can come in and through the body. So we're really going to be going deep into exploring these different paradigms. I am going to be offering up opportunities to get that one-on-one feedback. So that's going to be soon to come. I'm really, putting all that together, but I'm really excited about that. But, in the meantime, I do recommend, we mentioned the Love Your Body series that we have coming up. That's a great primer to get you ready for this deeper work that we're going to be bringing forward, because even to be ready and aware and able to hear what's being shared when I come on the calls with you, you're going to want to have your body primed, right? We perceive information from the level of consciousness with which we are running in our body. And so if you're at a certain level of consciousness, there are pieces that you will hear that will take you deep into transformation. But if you can start to do the work of unwinding now already through that work that we're doing in those, you're going to be ready to hear some of the deeper reflections and insights that are coming out. And be ready and able to go deeper within that program in priming your body. Again, we hold such entrenched paradigms and programs in the body that have been sitting and situated in our being over lifetimes. And so we've really got to be systematic and consistent, very, very consistent. We don't want to just do something, have the result be reflective of freedom for a little bit, and we feel good and we feel light, and then we can't sustain that. That's the biggest issue. Most of the things that we do are to attain a certain outcome, and then we find it difficult to sustain that outcome because we are not static. Our bodies are not static, and our soul evolution is not static. So, this is really going to be designed to help you come into that space of being in the ebb and flow of what's wanting to express through you, and being able to navigate that through your body very effectively and very efficiently in a way that allows you to maintain the lightness even when things, are shaking up and shaking out. So that's what we're doing. As you know, Sophie, I always love going deep into the body and really exploring what's happening within. So going to be a lot of great reflections and insights and really, new energies. There's new techniques and new energies that are coming in for this one that are really beautiful that I've been shown. So I can't wait to go deeper into that.
I love it. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Thank you. So everyone, mark the dates, March 13th and March 15th at 9 a.m. Pacific. Yes, the perspective of not having to go to pain to get, for our body to get our attention and really upgrading to a whole new paradigm. I really love it. I'm all for that. So thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for this, what is coming. Thank you for today, for your brilliant readings and your generous offering, and really looking forward to being with you again soon. Thank you, Amanda.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sophie. Such a pleasure. And thank you to all of you. I know being here, asking your questions, raising your hands, being present, it makes a contribution. So I always like to be an acknowledgement of what you are already doing. That's an important piece of the shift. We have to get really clear and real on what we're wanting to shift, and we also need to be in acknowledgement of what we're already doing. This is I see this so often. I just want to share this point, Sophie. Physically, if you think about when you start to undergo an exercise routine or manage your diet, right? The changes are very incremental. They're subtle. They're incremental. And so you might be feeling like, oh, I don't feel like anything's happening. But a month might go by and you see someone you haven't seen in a month, and they look at you and you go, oh my gosh, you look really good. What's going on? Like they see changes. But because they're so subtle and incremental within you, you don't necessarily recognize them so overtly, right? That's why a lot of people, if you ever undergo an exercise program, they'll be like, take before pictures, and take the after pictures, because then you can actually see the changes that are occurring, right? And so really it's so similar when we're going on this energetic path and we're doing all this deep work to shift internally. Sometimes it can feel difficult to recognize the shifts that we've already made. So you want to make sure that you're acknowledging what are you already doing, right? That fuels your body. That gives you energy. That sparks you forward and gives you that fuel to keep going, right? We've got to be consistent, and we have to sustain that. In order to do that, acknowledging what you're already doing and what you've already done really helps with that, and that will help carry you forward. And you want to keep going, the next step, the next step, the next step. Just keep going and trust the process and journey. So with that, Sophie, again, thank you. Thank you for creating this space and inviting us all here, just in such deep gratitude and appreciation for you.
Thank you. And for you. Thank you. All right, everyone. Let's take a nice breath. Let's take a moment, just a moment, to be present once again to the orb of grace. Allowing it to remain there, holding us, holding all that we have received today, whether it's your own reading or someone else's reading that gave you an indication, or maybe a whole download, right, or shivers, or knowing this is for me. We've received so much, and there's more to be received. So being held in the orb of grace for as long as it serves our highest good, our evolution, and the highest good of all. And I invite you to join me on Friday, February 2nd, so this Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific for the launch, orientation, and intention call for Graceful Connections 3. So there will be gifts of power claiming keys for live callers. Those power claiming keys, yes, the mantras of the heart that have the power to change lives. And you have the link for this call with all the details and access info. You have the link on your webcast page and on your replay page. And make sure to sign up at gracefulconnections.com with double L as in full of grace, gracefulconnections.com for all the invitations, the special calls, the special announcements, the bonuses, and your sacred welcome gifts. You receive them right away as soon as you sign up. All the sacred welcome gifts from our brilliant expert speakers. And I'm closing now by giving gratitude to each and every one of you in the audience. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of grace. Thank you for contributing to this celebration, our warm-up pre-party. I really loved it. We had such an amazing time together, and it wouldn't be the same without you, you know. Whether you've joined us on the live call or on the replay, your presence, your attention matter and are treasured. So thank you everyone. And gratitude, immense gratitude to Christel and Amanda for your brilliant, generous offerings. Always such a treat it is to share the space with you, and we appreciate and cherish all your insights. Thank you for blessing us with your generous and graceful hearts. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Christel. Yes. And gratitude to the Orb of Grace for providing our safe, sacred space for this celebration today. And gratitude for all the grace we are blessed with at every moment, whether we're aware of it or not. It offers all the nourishment, the nurturing, the healing, the revelations and realizations that we open our hearts to receive. Gratitude to our higher selves and all the higher beings who guide, support, and protect us. And gratitude to the divine. Thank you. Until we meet again, everyone, many graceful blessings to you all. Thank you, and goodbye now.